On behalf of Swami Vivekananda Culture Center Colombo, High Commission of India, I welcome all of you for this online lecture. The title of this lecture is The Indian Dance Influence on Sri Lanka from 10th to 20th Century. This is one of the events of India at 75 to mark the 75th anniversary of Indian independence. The historians, they divide the country history into different periods based on political basis. The historians, they divide the country's history into different periods. In Sri Lanka, the historians have divided it into different periods based on political basis. The Anuradhapura period is the longest period in Sri Lankan history. Following the Anuradhapura period, Polonnaruwa period existed. Following the Polonnaruwa period, Dambadeniya period existed. After that, Kurunagala period, Yapahuwa period, Gampala period, Rayama period, Siduvaka period, Kota period, Kandy period and Kalaba period existed. The Polonnaruwa period sculptures are the real evidence for us how the dance were practiced during the time of Polonnaruwa period. The sculptures could be divided into two main categories. One is the iconography, devotional sculptures, and other one is the architectural decorative sculptures of Polonnaruwa. There is no proper stone inscriptions or metal inscriptions are available regarding this regard, but the sculptures are long-standing, and these sculptures are giving the full evidence how the dances were practiced in Polonnaruwa. It was introduced by the Cholas. Cholas, they came from Chola Mandalam to Polonnaruwa and established themselves in this country. During their regime, Polonnaruwa was called Janaka Mandala. Actually, Cholas, they ruled this country only for 55 years. After that, during the period, rest of the period of Polonnaruwa was ruled by numerous local kings. But at the closing years of Polonnaruwa, for a period of 30 years, another Indian king called Kalinga Maha, who ruled Polonnaruwa. Throughout the period, dance was practiced in different ways in this island nation. It could be assumed the dancers came from India. The Chola kings, they brought the traditional Devadasis from Chola Nadu to this country for practicing dances in the temples. Because during the time only the Hindu temples were built in Sri Lanka, in Polonnaruwa area, in and around Polonnaruwa area, Madhutam area and numerous other areas in the country. Practicing dance is one of the mode of worshipping in the Hindu religious tradition. It is considered as Sharia worship. That means it is a form of worshipping the God by physique. These dances were introduced to this land from India and they danced it in the temples. Colonial period sculptures could be divided into two main categories. One is the devotional iconographic sculptures and other one is the decorative architectural sculptures. These two types could be further divided into three main divisions. One is the stone-made sculptures, other one is the stucco sculptures, that is the plastered sculptures, and the third is the bronze sculptures. The stone sculpture would be divided into furthermore subdivisions. It could be seen in the form of limestone sculptures, in the form of granite sculptures, as well as in the form of carved sculptures. In the Hettidah Gate Tooth Relic Temple, earlier we could able to see some dance sculptures. Those dance sculptures were in the form of horizontal level. These dance sculptures reflect the Indian dance influences, but unfortunately, these sculptures were not preserved properly and these sculptures were beaten by the weather. Today, these sculptures are not seen there, but earlier, some years back, we could able to see these sculptures at Hettidah Gate Tooth Relic Temple in Polonnaruwa. Earlier these sculptures were seen, but today these sculptures are not much seen because these sculptures were not preserved well. These sculptures were weather-beaten sculptures, but still we can see the beautiful Indian dance influences. These sculptures could be seen in the horizontal level. Along with dances, beautiful musical accompaniments also could be seen. It depicts the procession dances of that time. We can see these sculptures are very much influenced by the Indian dance traditions. In Polonnaruwa period, another structure was built. This is known as Hettidah Gate. It is a Buddhist temple. At the steps, we can see numerous goblins in the form of dwarfs. These goblins are known in Tamil as Pudams. These dwarfs or goblins reflect numerous nuances of dance poses. We can see the eye glances, neck positions, foot position, body positions all reflect beautiful dance stances, and the ornamental decorations of these dwarfs also reflect the resemblance of dance ornaments. At the same contemporary period in India also, this type of dwarfs were used for architectural decorative purposes in the temples as well as for numerous other architectural for structures. So we can see the dance influence could be identified in these small dwarf or goblins. All these decorative elements of Vatidagi resemble us how the dance influences of those days captured the heart of the sculptors who applied those dance nuances in these goblins. So Indian dance influences could be identified in these goblins. At the contemporary period in India also, these dwarfs or goblins were used for the architectural decorative purposes of the temples. Beautiful dance stances could be seen in these sculptures with beautiful ornamental decorations. We can see the beauty of the dance in these sculptures very deeply. For the dance research analysis, we always use these beautiful sculptures. The Atadage Buddhist temple, it is a tooth relic temple which was built in Polonnaruwa during the period of Polonnaruwa period. Still we can see there are altogether 54 pillars. These 54 pillars are in the form of square pillars. Each side of these pillars contains beautiful carved figures. Most of these carved figures reflect the Indian dance influences. All these show us those days how these Indian dances will influence the minds of the sculptors. And the Indian dance influence could be identified in these carved figures. At Polonnaruwa Museum, we could see beautiful set of stone dance friezes. These stone dance friezes reflect the Karna poses. These stone dance friezes reflect the Karna poses of Indian dance Karna poses. Beautiful female as well as male figures are seen in these friezes with different body position, different foot positions, head positions as well as with numerous beautiful ornamental decorations as well as with the head ornamental decorations. These dance phrases are closely linked to the Indian dance karna poses. The Indian dance karna poses were used in 10th to 13th century for the decorative purposes in India. Many of the Hindu temples were decorated with these karna poses from the period of 10th to 13th century. Important stone frieze which could be seen in one of the archaeological museums of Sri Lanka. It is stated that particular stone frieze is belong to Polonnaruwa period. It contains numerous female dancers and also it is stated it might have been used for the decorative purposes of one of the Hindu temples of Polonnaruwa during the period of Polonnaruwa period. Another important stone carving of a female dancer could be seen at the Lanka Tilaka image house at Polonnaruwa. This particular image could be seen at the southern wall of the Lanka Tilaka image house. It further reveals us how the dances were taken place at Polonnaruwa period and how these dances were influenced the minds of the sculptors of that particular period. In Polonnaruwa period, we can see numerous bronze sculptures reflecting the beautiful dance nuances of India. Among them, one chain lamp dance sculpture, one chain lamp drum player, one chain lamp cymbal player could be seen with beautiful Indian dance influences. All these sculptures depict the Indian dance stances. The Polonnaruwa period devotional iconography deeply reflect the Indian dance traditions, especially the female Hindu icons reflect the Indian dance traditions in the form of stances, foot position, hand gestures, ornamental decorations and hair dressings and head ornamental decorations. There are altogether 4 different types of Lord Nadaraja, the dancing deity sculptures were excavated from the Polonnaruwa area. Among them, one is the tallest and world famous Lord Nadaraja sculpture, which is known as Shiva Nadaraja sculpture. Under the pedestal of this sculpture, we can see numerous accompaniments, including one female cymbal player, drum player, and flute player, etc. It revealed us even those days the sculptors believed for Lord Nataraja's dance, even the accompaniments, background music was the source and soul of the dance. That's why they depicted at the pedestal all these beautiful poses of the accompaniments. After the Polonnaruwa period, the Yapahuwa period was the most important period in Sri Lankan history. Many beautiful decorative art dance sculptures could be seen at the earlier Yapahuwa palaces, which could be seen with full of aesthetic rhythmic vibrancy dance poses. At the entrance of the Yapahuwa palace, now in the form of ruins, still we can see the beautiful dance sculptures with the dance stances. Beside this, we can see at Yapahuwa one stone-made window. In between the stone-made window, there were certain beautiful dance poses were sculptured, and a portion of that could be seen at the Colombo Museum. Very beautiful geometrical dance poses with the Indian influences could be seen at this particular Yapahuwa window crafted sculptures. In the Yapahuwa period, we can see, like the Polonnaruwa period, numerous procession dances were taken place. This could be seen from the Yapahuwa stone dance friezes. Beside this, we can further notice, like the Polonnaruwa period, females and males were served as accompaniments in the procession dance. Stone friezes of Yapahuwa provide this evidence to us. Further, beautiful rhythmic pattern of dance movements were well depicted in these stone friezes. Following the Yapahuwa procession dance tradition, we can see some more dance reliefs of 14th century at one of the Ganegoda Buddhist temples near Kegalle district in Sri Lanka. Beautiful dance stone reliefs containing beautiful dance poses of female dancers along with female accompaniments could be seen at these stone reliefs. All these implies the truth. During the 14th century in Sri Lanka, procession dances were taken place with the accompaniments. The same tradition was also followed in India. During the contemporary Indian period, we can see beautiful procession dances were taken along with the accompaniments were well depicted in the Indian stone friezes as well. All these reveal us the truth that the Indian influence was deeply influenced the Sri Lankan traditional dance culture during that time. Another stone frieze containing beautiful dance poses of females was collected from Horana area, which belongs to the 16th century in Sri Lankan history. These poses depict the beautiful dance Karana poses related to the Natya Shastra traditions. In 17th and 18th centuries of Sri Lanka, we can see the beautiful ivory crafts. These ivory crafts contain beautiful dance poses and dance figures of females related to Indian dance traditions. This shows us how the Indian dance traditions had influenced the minds of these ivory craft artisans of that time. We can see these elements in the form of door decorative elements, hair combs, as well as caskets. All these elements contain beautiful dance figures related to Indian Natya Shastra tradition. During the period of Kampala as well as during the period of Kandyan period, beautiful wooden crafted artifacts could be seen. These artifacts resemble the beautiful dance poses. Especially these craft works could be seen in the doors, windows, pillars, and the roof bars. All these wooden crafted dance poses reflect the Indian dance influence during that time. In the National Museum of Colombo, one particular stone frieze depicting two female street dancers, the costume patterns as well as the sthana positions clearly indicate how the Indian dance influence was existed during that period. In Sri Lanka, in 20th century, the Indian dance influences could be seen invariably. Especially, the sadhir was practiced in various Hindu temples around the island nation. Especially, sadhir was practiced in Jaffna area during the period of 20th century. The first quarter of 20th century, the sadhir was well practiced in India as well as in Sri Lanka. But after some time, due to certain stigma attached to this particular dance tradition, slowly this tradition was discarded by the people as well as by the temple authorities. After the first quarter of 20th century, numerous Indian dance troupes visited this island nation. Rabindranath Tagore, who bought his dance troupe from Shantiniketan and displayed beautiful dance programs in this island nation. He not only performed with his troops in Colombo, they also visited Jaffna and performed. It is stated for one dance, he himself also participated and performed. All the productions of Guru Rabindranath Tagore were well received by the Sri Lankan audience. Besides this, the famous Indian dancer Uday Shankar, he also visited this island nation and performed. Another Indian artist, Narraj Bashi, also came to Sri Lanka and performed. All their performances were well received and all the performances influenced the minds of the people. That influence actually induced the Sri Lankan population to learn the Indian dances. The great Indian dancer Nirali Sarabhai, along with her husband, visited Sri Lanka and performed for the Sri Lankan audience. Similarly, in 1943, the Abhinaya queen Bal Saraswati visited this land and performed. In 1954, the great Bharatanatyam dancer Kamala Lakshmanan, along with her group Padma Shri Valur Ramaya Pillai, visited this island and performed in Colombo, Saraswati Hall, as well as in the Manoharan Theatre Hall in Jaffna. After seeing these beautiful dance performances by the Indian visiting artists, many of the Sri Lankans started going to India and get proper training in the Indian classical dance forms. In 1936, Srimati Rukmani Devi Arunde had started the Kalakshetra at Madras. Many of the Sri Lankans went to this institution and got a proper training at this institution. Besides this, many of the Sri Lankans also went to numerous individual gurus and numerous other institutions, including the Shantiniketan of Guru Rabindranath Tagore. They went and got a proper training under numerous outstanding gurus and came back to Sri Lanka, and they established themselves in those chosen field of the Indian classical dances, and they established their own dance schools and trained many Sri Lankans at this island nation. Now, the Ramanathan Academy of Fine Arts at Mardana Madam, Jaffna is functioning under the University of Jaffna and awarding degrees and higher degrees in this field. In the eastern province of Sri Lanka, at Kalladi, the Vibulananda Institute of Aesthetic Study was established in May 1982. The Eastern University of Sri Lanka was established in 1986. Later, on 1st of January 2002, the Vibulananda Institute of Aesthetic Study was affiliated with the Eastern University of Sri Lanka. In the Western province of Sri Lanka, the Visual and Performing Arts University was established. Today, there is a particular faculty under the name of Indian dances and Asian dances. A particular faculty is functioning with its own identity. This particular lecture reveals us how the Indian dance traditions influenced Sri Lanka from 10th to 20th century. This particular lecture is followed by certain classical Indian dance performances.